Welcome. If you've just joined us in our Inspired Learning community, we are thrilled you're here. And this is a video tour that'll kind of get you acclimated to the space. If you're part of AC Network, then this video will help you to understand what's changed and how to find your way around. I'm Cheryl Nussbaum Beach, and I am one of the co-moderators of the Inspired Learning space, along with Jan Edney. So the place that we find ourselves right now is on the main page. And in the main page, you'll see that there are 3 columns. And the 3 columns are kind of how you make sense of the information that's there. It's a lot like a newspaper. When you read a newspaper, you have 3 different columns with all different information. This works kind of the same way. Across the top here, you see that there's a navigation bar. Now, the interesting thing about the navigation bar is that when you hover over some of these, you'll see that there's other places that you can visit. So for instance, like in the member content, you can pull up the chat, you can pull up blogs, you can pull up forum. Same with links, you'll see different links here. And so there's lots of things that you can explore that are going to be embedded in these main links. Additionally important to know, in my screen, you're going to see something called Manage. You're not going to see that in your screen. You're just going to see main through links, and that's absolutely okay if that's what you see. So let's kind of look through the first column here. You'll see at the very top, it gives us a little bit of information about the community. It says that we're innovating, creating, and exploring ways of collaborating and sharing. And that's a really important piece of the Inspired Learning framework. Here you've got members, and you can tell who's a member of this network. And usually whenever they log in, you'll see their picture. So this tells me that the AC Network administrative account logged in, Lonnie's been in, right here Sonia's been in, Robert's been in, and so I can kind of tell when somebody hits the space because their picture will come up to the front. If I want to know everybody that's in this space, you can see right now there's 348 members, then I can just scroll through the all members, and I can tell who's online and who's not online by right here. If Robert was online right now, it would say online. Now, if I want to know more about Robert, so let's say I click on the link right here, it'll take me to Robert's page, and it'll tell me that he lives in Sexsmith, Alberta. It also shows me that he joined Inspired Learning an hour ago. Jan's already left him a note on his page. If I want to know a little bit more about him, I can see there's the school authority that he's associated with. He's the assistant superintendent. And I also could follow him on Twitter if I wanted to. When you fill out your account, you may not have this exactly like you want it. You can always go back in and edit that information, and I'll show you how in just a minute. If I wanted to leave a comment for him, I could do so right here. And you can see here's Jan's full comment that kind of walks him through the site and starts to get him acclimated. Feel free to leave comments on each other's pages. Anytime that you want to see who is in the space, you can just go to members and, like I said, click on their page. Now, you'll notice some people here have pictures and some don't. It's really a great idea if you don't have a picture up to go ahead and put one, simply because it helps with the trust factor. It helps us get to know you a little bit. For instance, Liz, I'm going to feel a closer affinity towards her because I'm able to see her picture. I can kind of get a feel for who she is. So then when I come down here and I read a little bit more about her, I begin to trust her more because it thickens the 3D representation of somebody in an online space. Portfolios are really important that way when you're part of an online community. So you want to take a few minutes and kind of work through yours. Let me go back to main. And we're going to continue to look down this first column. Now, you'll see right here is if you're new to the community. If you want to know the purpose of Inspired Learning, if you want to know the Twitter hashtag, you can click on new member, and it'll actually take you through some things. I have to log back in because the way that I'm logged in right now is going to require me to log in twice. So let me do that. And if you have to log in, again, you just simply re-enter your information. There we go. So this takes us to the new member site, and you can see here that it gives information about what you could be doing, starting your own group, join the newbie group, lots of information, as well as a 31 days of connected learning piece that you might want to go through that'll kind of bring you up on Web 2.0 tools if you're not familiar with them. So I'm going to go back to main, and you'll remember we're working our way down the first column. So you got to see the little area that has new to the community, and this is where the video, you found the video, was in this little box. Each week we share some resources, and you can see this week we are sharing an AC Cycle 5. There's also, this is going to be updated. There's actually a, this Thursday, and on the 18th, there'll be another virtual classroom visit, so that'll be updated. Some information about a new book that came out. So these are updated on a regular basis, and so be sure and check there for new resources. Events is another place that you might want to spend some time. You can click View All, but usually when there's an event coming up, it'll be in this area. And so you can spend some time figuring out, is there a webinar I want to attend, a Twitter chat, maybe there's some other event, a face-to-face event. And as your organization has events, if you have things to add that you want to let the people know that are part of this community, put your events in. It isn't just the community organizers who are listing events. Same with the resources. If you have something to share, click on right here on this ongoing list, takes you to a Google Doc, and then we can pull from your resources and put them up. The great thing about an online community is it belongs to everyone, and so we just really want to encourage you to do that. Here's join a group. Now, what are groups? Groups are smaller, more private areas where you can have discussions and kind of engage each other. You'll see that there are some groups that are kind of generic, like a school community engagement group, so anybody who's interested in that. There's some that are very specific, like this is Northland ADLC partnership, so this would be just for those partners. I'll show you an example of an open room. So Lonnie Ritter Hall leads something called the Newbie Room. And the Newbie Room is for people that are new to this connecting in an online space sort of thing. And so what she does is she sort of takes you through all the ins and outs. And each week or so she posts something new and kind of helps to take you deeper, hold your hand a bit more. Somebody said yesterday that learning in an online community was exciting because there was just as much hand holding as there was hand letting go of. So that some things you're encouraged to do on your own and some things we want to kind of walk you through. So the groups area, you're going to want to look through the groups, see if there's one there that you're interested in joining. You can click View All and it'll pull up all the different groups. If you don't see one there and you want to start one either for your school authority or maybe a passionate topic that you're interested in building a group around, we can help you do that. We want this community to be for you. You can invite your whole faculty, you can invite your colleagues, anybody who's an Alberta educator, a pre-service teacher is welcome to participate. And you could set up a space in here where all of your guys came and you worked inside that space. So we want to give you an online place to learn, to share resources, to be able to connect and collaborate, and that's what this is all about. You can also see this column is a little bit about Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We also have Twitter chats, and we use the Inspired Learn hashtag. And if you can't get to Twitter, or if you don't Twitter, then we have the tweets are pulled in here. So you can see whatever comes through that we're tweeting right there. Videos, we can all add videos. The videos are related to anything that incorporates best practice. So you can just upload a video, and you do that simply by clicking on Add Videos. You'll see it in the bottom or up at the top. And you just either put the link in here or you can put the embed code and it'll add the video. You can take a look at all the videos that have been added. So that's something that you can do. And there's quite a few. Some of the videos are really very much about your practice and some are inspirational. So wide range of being able to see the learning, making the learning visible as well as being able to read about it. So that's the first column. I've gone all the way back down to videos. Sorry for the scrolling so fast. So we've got videos, we've got Twitter, a little bit more about Twitter, groups, how to join one, events, resources, and a little bit about getting acclimated as a new member. Now let's go to the main area. Inside the community, one of the most important places that you can spend time is looking in the main middle column. For instance, this is the letter that tells you a little bit about AC being reinvented into the Inspire Ed community. So that's an important piece. Then if you scroll down, you can also see that there's a letter here that's going to tell you a little bit about that we need your help. And because a community isn't built by one person, it's built collaboratively. So we need you adding resources and adding events and creating a group room and doing posts. And we actually have an incentive that went on last week. We'll have other incentives that are going on. You have a couple days, and if you decide to do it, start a new discussion about anything in here, you actually get a free copy of a book. And so there'll be different things like that to incentivize you to be brave, be bold, try something new. A little bit about our purpose. Also going in the middle column, we share different things, like we're in the middle of doing interviews with people around their AC Cycle 5 work. Here you can see we're building on the legacy. And so we have some interviews that have been done with Black Gold and the coaches there. Really strongly recommend you take a look at them. Excellent interviews. When you come back, if you're looking at this and let's say a couple weeks from now, there'll be other things here because the middle section will change out. This is the forum, and it just kind of tells you a little bit about the forum. And then you can see here is where people are starting to add their discussions. So what you do is, let's say you're not adding a discussion. Let's say that you're interested in reading a discussion. So inspiring through leading. Let's take a look at this discussion. I'm going to click on it, and this was a post that was done by Kelly Johnson. She did it on April 12th, and she's talking a little bit about rereading the blogs that people have done in the AC conference, and she's making an example of one and talks about, it makes me personally rethink what I do on a macroscopic scale. It gives a much more powerful vision, a compelling need, a reason for what I do, day-to-day education. So then after she does this, she asks some questions and encourages you to come here into the text box, type your reply, whatever resonates with you, however you're going to answer a question, and then just click add reply. So we're having collegial kinds of conversations around meaningful content. We're sharing resources. If I want to follow this, and I think I will, just to see if anybody responds, I can click follow, and then if somebody responds, it'll send me an email in my box. And this is important because if you leave a comment, you're going to want to know if somebody followed up and said something to your comment. So it's a good idea to click follow on the post that you're involved in. Okay, so forum is a great place to engage with others collegially, to have good conversations, to share resources. Like, for instance, this is a great resource. It was about a particular tool that will take your visible tweets, that'll take your tweets, put them up on the wall, and it had an activity on how to do some very informal PD using this tool by having the tweets display in the faculty lounge. And so that's something that you might want to do. So all kinds of things that you can learn here. There's a way to see all the discussions, all right? And you can start a discussion. Please do. Communities are not led from the top down. Communities are what communities are. Sometimes I bring cookies to your house. Sometimes you bring cupcakes to mine. You might see me in the yard when I'm mowing and you'll speak to me over the hedge. And so that's what this community is about. It's about us all coming, bringing things, entering into conversations, and really figuring out what works in our various school authorities, classrooms, and personal lives. So this is about the blog. Inside the Inspired Learning space, each of you can have a blog if you've never blogged before, and it's just for those of us that are inside here. But this blog is actually the Inspired Learning blog, where we share things out to the public. And if you don't get a chance to go over to the blog, through the miracle of RSS, we pull it all in here, and so you can see each of the posts that are on the blog. So for instance, if I click right here, it takes you to the Inspired Learning blog, and you can see here's a post. And this is in a public place. You can see 11 people have tweeted it. It's been put out on Google+. So it just gives you an idea of what we're posting on the Inspired Learning blog. If you'd like us to follow your blog and put the link up on the Inspired Learning blog so it'll drive readers to you, please send us that information. You can even start a post about it. If you want to be a co-blogger on that blog, let us know, and we're happy to work with you in that way. In the middle column then, excuse me, down here at the bottom, you can see latest activity. And what it does is it tells you whatever's going on. So a lot of times I'll come here first. I'll log on to the main page. I'll go down to the latest activity and see who's doing what and who's saying what. So I can see that Sherry Sand joined this group. I can see that Lonnie posted a discussion, and I could click more if I wanted to. So that's a great way to be able to see what's going on. Also, if you look on the far right-hand side, you're going to see that there are different things on the far right-hand side as well. So right here, you'll see your name. It'll have a little bit of information, like I can see that I have somebody that sent an email and a friend request. You probably won't see this. This is a moderator kind of thing. Here, just some information. This box will change out. There'll be different things. Just like this this graphic was something that's pretty cool. You might want to look at it, sort of like an AC conference manifesto. And so take a look at that. Top content's usually here, so what's ever getting the most attention. So if you want to know what's hot, you can take a look there. Of course, we all got to start using the site again for that to kind of flesh out. And this is really important. This is the archives. So anytime we have a webinar, you can find the webinar archives here. If we send out an email to the whole community, you'll see that here. If there's something really provocative at the top, like for instance, right now we have this. Well, when I take this down, the letter to the community, and replace it with something else, I'll put it here in the main area archive in case you want to see what kinds of things have been there in the past. It helps you to keep up. And then help desk videos. Now, the help desk videos are all going to be replaced to be the inspired learning videos, but they're there now to kind of help you figure out how to do your profile and how to do it. It'll just have the AC branding until we change them out. You can blog from here inside the community. And this tells you a little bit about blogging. And then you can see all these wonderful blog posts. And you can comment. You can see like there's 2 comments here, 2 comments here, 5 comments on this one. So lots of people decide to blog from inside the community. Now, if you have a blog, you can actually do a short little blog post and say, read more about it on my blog, and drive people to your blog through blog posts that you do in here. And feel free to use it in that way. We're absolutely comfortable with that. All right, so just a couple more things I'm going to show you on the nav bar. My page is pretty important. If you click on my page, you're going to see that it actually takes you to your page. Now, because this is my page, it takes you to mine. But if you clicked on this, you'd see your picture. You'd see your information. One of the things it has on your page is the ability to change your photo, and you can see how that works. It'll also let you mess with your settings, and I'm going to click on that right now and show you. If you click on the settings, I can go in here and I can address the profile questions, and I can see I need to fill mine out. I can also upload things from my phone, and it gives me an email address to use to do that. It'll allow me to change my photo from here, and then it also lets me go in and do privacy settings and change things having to do with the email. And so you can really work on making your page a little bit more exciting through this area. I'm going to click right here and show you. If I want to change the appearance of my page, I can actually click on Appearance, and it will open up something at the top here that'll let me even choose a different look, different colors, even a different design for my page. And I can, and so feel free to do that. We want you to feel comfortable and sort of like, you know, deck your page out however you want it to be. You can actually go in and actually rearrange the kinds of things that are on your page so that if you wanted to have regular content you shared with people, you could. Also, you'll notice here it gives my latest activity. So if you want to know what the person, if I clicked on your page, I could see what kinds of discussions you're involved in. It'll have a text box that you can put additional information in, the videos you've added, and if anybody's left comments on your wall. So it'll allow you to be able to kind of check things out when you're on your page to make your page look the way you want it to. If you want to blog, you can click right here on blog post. Like for instance, it'll let me blog right from my page. So if I didn't want to go to main and spend time there, I could click on my page and I could enter discussions or start them. I could put up an event. Remember I told you could add events for your school and everything? I could put up a video. So there's a lot I can do just working from my page. And then when you visit someone's page, it'll even tell you everything they've been involved in. I can also add applications. So if I click on Add Apps, it's going to open up a tool that will allow me to add different kinds of apps here on my page if I wanted to do that. Okay? All right. So let me go back to main. The other thing that I think is kind of important for you to know, and I'll go here from the member content. If you go to member content and you go to forum, inside the forum, you'll see that there'll be some posts that are featured and some posts that aren't. I can search these posts by latest activity, newest discussions, or most popular. So let me just do most popular and let's see what we get. So you can see this getting to know you was probably the most popular. Here's one, communicating with parents. That was a pretty hot topic. So you can kind of go through. Here's one, making thinking visible. Pretty exciting. The other thing that you can do is you can view the category look. So instead of it being about the discussions, I can go down here and based on the category that people gave the topic when they posted it, and I can kind of read through things like just sharing if I'm interested in that. All right. When you're in the discussion forum, another important place is this. At the bottom of, so you remember I went up here, I went to member content, and I went to forum. And then it gave me all the discussion posts. At the bottom, it'll have something that says stop following or following. If I didn't want to receive an email when somebody did a new post, I could click stop following. I can also do that at the level of the post. So for instance, I'm going to click on community. I'll click on touring our community. So we'll see what Lonnie has there. And if I wanted to, let's say I was getting everybody, I commented on this and I followed it, and then everybody started following it again. Let me go on down here. It's a pretty long post here. And I want to follow or unfollow, I can do it at the level of the post. So you can do it either way that you want. But that's a way it's a lot better instead of going in and controlling emails and maybe stopping you from getting the emails that we send the entire group. Just, you can control the amount of mail you get by clicking follow or not follow, either at the main forum area or at the discussion level area. And it's a lot more effective way. If you go into the email settings and you tell it not to send you any email, then when we make announcements or try to let you know about contests or great things going on, you won't get those emails. So that's pretty much it. That gives you the grand tour, kind of lets you get comfortable. There's nothing you can break. We hope that you'll dig in, you'll click on things, and most of all, that you'll be brave and that you'll post and that you'll share and that you'll add value and that you'll create a space for your friends and your colleagues to go and to talk about things that interest you. And that in the main area in the forum, that you'll engage in our discussions too, and you'll start some here for other people to engage in. Thank you so much for sticking with me here and being part of the tour, and we'll see you in the community. Bye, everyone.